Most people are asking the wrong question about Google AI mode. They are asking whether SEO is dead. But that framing is too simple. It also does not help much. The better question is this: what kind of content gets used by AI search? That question matters because Google search is no longer only a page of blue links. That version of search still exists, but AI mode pushes the experience further into generated answers, broader exploration, comparisons, and more agent-like research behavior. At Google I/O 2026, Google continued moving in that direction. And according to the research brief for this episode, AI mode has passed 1 billion monthly users. That does not mean every search result disappears. It does not mean websites no longer matter. And it does not mean creators, marketers, SEO professionals, e-commerce stores, or small businesses should walk away from SEO. But it does mean the search experience is changing. And when search changes, the workflow behind visibility has to change with it. For years, much of SEO was built around a familiar pattern. A user typed a query. Google returned a page of results. A business tried to rank near the top. The user clicked a result. The website received traffic. Then the page had to convert, educate, or move the person to the next step. That model still exists. But AI mode introduces a different pattern. A user can ask a broader question. Google can generate an answer. It can compare options. It can expand the original query into related sub-questions. And it can help the user explore the topic before they decide which site to visit. That is where the tension comes from. Google says SEO still matters. At the same time, many site owners are looking at AI-generated answers and asking what that really means if users do not interact with search results the same way. The answer is not to panic. But the answer is not to pretend nothing changed either. The practical response is to understand how AI search changes discovery. Then adjust how you plan, create, structure, and measure content. One of the most important concepts here is query fan-out. In a traditional keyword workflow, you might optimize a page around one target query and support it with related terms. That approach treats the visible keyword as the main unit of strategy. Query fan-out changes that assumption. With query fan-out, one user question can trigger a wider set of related searches or sub-questions behind the scenes. The system is not only looking at the exact words the user typed. It may also explore the intent around the question. That matters because real decisions are rarely built on one search. A small business owner does not only ask, "What is the best email marketing tool?" They also care about pricing, deliverability, integrations, ease of use, automation features, reporting, support, migration, and whether the tool fits a small team. A local customer does not only search for a service provider. They may care about service area, availability, reviews, specialties, pricing expectations, and what happens after they make contact. An e-commerce shopper does not only search for a product name, they compare alternatives. They check use cases. They look for compatibility. They weigh trade-offs. And they decide whether a product fits their specific situation. AI mode is designed for that kind of exploration more than a simple list of links. So the old question, "How do I rank for this keyword?" is no longer enough. The better question is, does my content help answer the full decision path around this topic? That is the shift. For creators and publishers, thin informational content becomes harder to defend. A basic definition page may still be useful in some cases, but if it does not include experience, comparison, examples, criteria, or practical guidance, it may have less value inside an AI-driven search journey. For marketers, content strategy has to move beyond isolated blog posts. The goal is to build a connected body of content that answers the questions a buyer, client, viewer, or customer would naturally ask. For SEO professionals, keyword research has to become intent path research. The query is the starting point, not the full map. And for small businesses, your site needs to explain what you do in a way that is clear, specific, and useful enough for both people and AI systems to understand. This is also where a lot of bad advice appears. Every major shift in search creates a market for shortcuts. Some people will sell fake GEO hacks. Some will point to technical files as if they magically control whether AI systems use your content. Some will recommend mass-producing AI pages at scale. Others will push spammy mention building, where the goal is to create artificial signals instead of real authority. That is not a serious strategy. The responsible position is simple. Do not frame this as SEO is dead. Do not claim exact traffic losses without a separate source. Do not rely on fake GEO hacks, LLMs.txt magic, mass AI pages, or spammy mention building. That restraint matters because serious operators need a workflow, not a superstition. Google's official position is that SEO still matters, but that does not mean every old tactic matters equally. It means the core job still matters. Making content useful, accessible, understandable, and trustworthy in a search experience that now uses AI to organize and present information. So what should the workflow look like? Start with one important topic in your business. Then map the full search journey around it. Not just the main keyword. Map the beginner question. Map the comparison question. Map the pricing question. Map the risk question. Map the implementation question. Map the alternative question. And map the question every serious buyer eventually asks. Is this right for me? If you are a freelancer selling a service, your content should not only explain what the service is. It should explain who it is for, when it is not a fit, what the client needs before starting, what affects cost, what mistakes to avoid, and what a successful outcome looks like. If you run an e-commerce store, your product pages should not only list features, they should help the customer compare use cases. They should explain compatibility, sizing, materials, limitations, setup, care, shipping considerations, and the common reasons someone might choose one product over another. If you run a local business, your site should be clear about service areas, service types, qualifications, process, availability, and the real questions customers ask before they contact you. In an AI search environment, clarity matters more, not less. Specificity matters more, not less. Original usefulness matters more, not less. The content most likely to be useful is content that helps the system understand the topic, the entity, the decision, and the next step. That does not require hype. It requires better information architecture. A practical AI search workflow starts with your highest value topic areas. These are not always the keywords with the highest search volume. They are the topics most connected to revenue, trust, client fit, or audience growth. Then you map the fan-out questions around each topic. What would someone ask before, during, and after the main query? What comparisons would they make? What objections would they have? What details would affect the decision? After that, audit your existing content against the map. Look for missing explanations, weak comparisons, outdated pages, vague claims, and pages that only answer the surface-level question. Then improve the content so it is easier to use. Add clearer definitions where they are needed. Add comparison logic. Add examples. Add constraints. Add practical steps. Add honest limitations. And finally, connect related pages so your site behaves more like a structured knowledge base, not a pile of disconnected articles. This is not about publishing more content just to increase volume. It is about making the content you already depend on more useful across the full journey. Measurement also has to change. In a blue link search environment, many teams focused heavily on rankings, impressions, clicks, and conversions. Those metrics still matter. But AI mode adds more complexity. If users get more answers directly in search, then a simple traffic report may not show the full picture of discovery. That means teams need to watch broader signals. Are branded searches changing? Are customers arriving with more informed questions? Are certain pages losing clicks but still supporting visibility? Are comparison queries becoming more important? Are product, service, or local pages clear enough to answer the questions AI search may be exploring? The goal is not to abandon analytics. The goal is to stop treating one metric as the entire story. For SEO teams, content gap analysis becomes more important. You need to know where your site is not answering the questions around your core topics. For marketers, attribution may become harder. Someone may encounter your brand through an AI-generated answer, compare you inside search, and return later through a branded search, a direct visit, or another channel. For business owners, it means the quality of inquiries matters, not only the quantity of visits. If AI-assisted search brings fewer casual visitors but more informed prospects, that is a different business problem than a simple traffic decline. But the key is to measure it carefully. The research brief does not support guessing exact traffic losses. So the responsible position is not to invent numbers. The responsible position is to track what is changing, compare it against your own data, and look beyond clicks alone. E-commerce and local businesses should pay close attention to this shift. For e-commerce, AI mode makes comparison more central. A shopper may not move directly from a product query to a product page. They may ask which option is better for a specific use case. They may compare brands, materials, sizes, price ranges, and trade-offs before they click. So product content needs to support comparison. That means clear product information, practical buying guidance, honest limitations, and content that helps a customer choose between options. For local businesses, the principle is the same, but the questions are different. A customer may want to know who serves a certain area, who handles a specific type of job, what the process looks like, what they should expect before booking, and whether the business fits their situation. Local visibility is not only about having a page that says the service name and the city. It is about giving enough useful, specific information for the search experience to understand what you do and when you are relevant. This is why the best response to AI mode is not to chase tricks. The better response is to become more answerable, not in a shallow way, not by producing generic AI-written pages, and not by trying to manipulate mentions across the web. Become answerable by making your expertise easier to understand. Make your comparisons clearer. Make your service pages more specific. Make your product information more useful. Make your content structure reflect the real questions people ask before they make a decision. The future of SEO is not just about ranking one page for one query. It is about being useful across the expanded path of search. That path now includes AI-generated answers, query fan-out, comparisons, and more agent-like exploration. So no, the serious takeaway is not SEO is dead. The serious takeaway is that SEO is becoming more connected to content quality, information structure, and decision support. If your content only exists to target a keyword, AI search makes that weakness more visible. But if your content helps people understand, compare, choose, and act, then it still has a role in discovery. The workflow is simple to describe, but not always easy to execute. Map the real questions. Fill the gaps. Improve the useful pages. Measure more than clicks. And build content that deserves to be used when search becomes more intelligent about the journey behind the query. That is the practical shift. Not the end of SEO, the end of lazy SEO, and the beginning of a more demanding version of search visibility.